It's West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 2. Looks as if maybe Graham Potter might have finally realised the scale of the job that he's taken on today. Because let's be really honest, we didn't do anything. We didn't do much. It wasn't the best of games. Quite a weird game, really. The first half seemed to be really bizarre sort of game. Where neither team looked like they were really that bothered about getting a result. I think in the first half, I think Crystal Palace were the only team that had one shot on target, which Fabianski pulled off a half-decent save for. But other than that, there was not a lot to report in that first half performance. It was boring, to be really honest with you, and it's not the sort of game that I expected, to be honest. I kind of expected a lot more from both teams, especially in the first half. I predicted a 3-2 result. I thought there were going to be a lot more chances created from both teams, but that's not what happened. Lineup, I looked at it, bit of surprise that Soler got dropped. And surprised that Cresswell got picked. But then I kind of understood why. Potter, he's got a system of playing. He wanted to play through at the back, which meant that he had a choice. He could have put either Alvarez as the third centre-back alongside Kilman and Mavropanos. He could have put Souček there, or he could have put Soufal there as a three at the back. Or, of course, he could have put Wan-Bissaka there, but he decided to play Wan-Bissaka further forward as a wing-back and Emerson on the left-hand side as a wing-back. So in the end, he decided that he was going to have Aaron Cresswell in as the third centre-back on the left-hand side. We've seen it done before. We've seen Cresswell play in that position under Moyes. So it wasn't that surprising to see him, but I think given the performance that we put in against Fulham and Aston Villa in Potter's first two games, I just thought maybe that if he hasn't got the centre-backs that he needs, then maybe he would have kept the four at the back. Look, it's not that it didn't work. You can't blame Cresswell for the first goal that they scored, to be really honest with you. Didn't come from that side. It came from the right-hand side. But anyway, it was a surprise nonetheless, especially given that Soler had scored his first goal for West Ham in the game against Fulham. So I think for that it was a surprise. Am I disappointed about the lineup? Not altogether. You know, maybe you could argue maybe Rodriguez should have been dropped as well, and put Souček maybe there, or keep Soler in the lineup and drop Rodriguez. But anyway, we didn't do much in the first half, but neither did they. It was quite a boring first half, to be quite honest with you. And we came out in the second half, and the teams were fairly even. They were fairly boring. They were fairly nothing really exciting to talk about for either side. And then, as usual, you know, a momentary lapse of concentration. We give ourselves a bit of a gap, and before you know it, Mateta was in, and they were 1-0 up. In the first few minutes of the second half, and then we're chasing the game, aren't we? I don't want to pick on referees, because I don't believe did the referee? They didn't get one booking, and yet their number 19, I can't remember his name, their number 19 kept fouling, niggly little fouls in the centre of the park, and he kept getting away with it, and that encouraged the rest of Crystal Palace to sort of do niggly foul. They didn't get one booking for all the fouls, and yet we got bookings, and of course we get two bookings with Mavropanos going off. Look, that second yellow card, I mean, I'd love to see it tonight on Match of the Day, because that looked, did he put his leg was high, his foot was high, but I mean, the player looked like he was diving into that, you know, head down. I think it was harsh, but anyway, of course I'm going to think it, because I'm a West Ham fan. But that killed us, 1-0 down, and then getting a player sent off, which meant that we were chasing the game even more then after that. The penalty, I'd love to see it, because from where we were, it looked to me that Fabianski actually got a hand on the ball. But again, it'll be another one that we'll see in the highlights tonight, and then we can make a decision on that as well. We had one shot on target. I think that was it in the whole game. Potter is not known for being a man setting his team up to create chances, and but the chances that we do have, like we did on Tuesday, we want to get goals from. He made some brave decisions, Potter, today. The starting lineup, like I said about Cresswell, and then he's not afraid to change it round, which is refreshing, to be honest with you. He gave Lewis Orford, I think that was Lewis Orford's Premier League debut. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain it was. So congrats to Lewis Orford. He brought Ollie Scholes on, he brought Guilherme on. He's not afraid to take known players off and give other players an opportunity to demonstrate what they're capable of. I think Scholes maybe, instead of Cresswell, like I said, you could have put Emerson at the back there, and you could have played Scholes as a left wing back. Scholes, looked decent again. Lewis Orford, finding his way. Found it easier to pass the ball back than he did going forward, but fair play to the player. And Guilherme, I think we were a player down, and there was a tall order for Guilherme to make any impact. Lessons learnt. Well, we now have a problem at the back because Todibo, we don't know when Todibo's due back, and now Mavropanos will serve a one-game ban, unless, of course, we believe that the second yellow should have been an appeal. Let's see. But if Mavropanos does get a one-game ban, it means we've got one recognised senior centre-back to select in Kilman. So Potter is going to have to make some kind of decision as to what he does at the back for the next game against Aston Villa. Only away at Aston Villa this weekend. Or next weekend, should I say, sorry. So he's got a decision to make there. On the right-hand side, Crystal Palace did their work. They did their homework. They nullified Kudus completely. Kudus had absolutely no chance down that side. Every time he got the ball, he started off up front, and he wasn't great up front, to be really, really honest with you. He didn't really do much up front. He was moved out to the right-hand side, and then the minute he moved out to the right-hand side, Crystal Palace had two players on him. They nullified Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Kudus, but maybe that's where plan B should come in. And if you can't get any luck on one side, you should be looking at... some of the balls, when Scholes came on, were trying to target at him, but he wasn't... they weren't finding him. So Scholes wasn't getting the opportunity to sort of get down that flank. It's a learning lesson for Graham Potter. If he didn't already know, I think he now knows that he needs a centre-back in this window. If we can get someone on loan, we need a front man. We need a striker. And my understanding is, at this moment in time, the leading candidate to come in... I know you keep hearing of all this thing about Gomez and Jonathan David from Lille. It ain't going to happen, and if it does, it won't happen until the summer. And I still maintain that both players are out of contract at the end of the season. If I think that there's a remote chance that they're coming to West Ham, wonderful. But let's see. But that's not going to help us now. The only player at this moment in time that's a contender to come in is Andre Silva from, damn it, the name's gone as to the club he's playing for, but he's the Portuguese striker. At this moment in time, he is the option that we will go for if nothing else materialises. So let's see what happens there. But I think it's a learning lesson, a learning curve for Potter. He knows we need strength in depth. We are lacking. I don't blame the young players for coming in and putting the effort in. But with the greatest of respect to Danny Ings, he came on. Yes, all right. So he helped to create Paquetá's goal against Fulham on Tuesday night, but he's too slow. We need a much pacier, a much slicker striker to come in. If not start, then at least have a striker off the bench that we can rely on. all we can put on. So disappointing. It's not the sort of game that I thought it would be. I thought it would be a lot more exciting. That penalty, I mean, not only did the sending off kill us, but then that penalty as well. I think I want to see both incidents before I sort of say any more about those. I'll look at those and then talk about them in the reflection show that I'll do on Sunday. Look, disappointing, but learning curve. Potter's got to learn from that pretty quickly. We need something different in this team. Potter must know that. Maybe we'll limp along until the end of this season and then get the bright players in at the end of the season rather than panicking to get players in this window. But Dewsbury Hall, for me, would have made a big difference in midfield. If we can get him, and there is talk about getting him in midfield, then great, let's do that. I think that's a bit of business that Chelsea might be interested in doing. Maybe a loan with an obligation to buy. I think he'll add something to this team in midfield. And at the back, if we're not already looking, we need to be looking at bringing in a centre-back. If not on a permanent, then at least on loan. Let's see what happens. Look, if you're new to this channel, please do hit the like button. If you appreciate the video, please do leave your comments of what you thought of the game. And sorry, if you're new or an existing subscriber, please do hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to the channel free of charge and doesn't cost anything to watch the shows. Thank you all for watching. Leave your comments, leave your likes, and I'll see you all very soon.